Purely Nourish, we have a variety of meals, whether you're vegan, plant-based, or you like animal protein.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions, Sony, that people have about healthy eating, and how do you help them change that?
Food should be fun. It should be enjoyable. It shouldn't have to be distasteful or feel like you have to eat this because you want to change the way you eat.
Welcome to Mastery Podcast, where entrepreneurs and experts uncover the truth about health, wealth, and personal mastery. I'm Dr. Sas, and together we dive deep into strategies that elevate your business and well-being beyond mainstream advice. Get ready for powerful stories, expert insights, and transformational knowledge. Welcome back to Mastery Podcast. Joining me today is Sony Kumar, and Sony is a founder of Purely Nourish, holistic nutrition specialist, and a chef. And she is taking meal prep to the next level. Can't wait to have a conversation with her.
Thank
I
you.
love food, y'all. So welcome to the show, Sony.
Thank you, Dr. Sass.
Nice. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
Good. Excited. A little nervous, but excited.
Well, you look beautiful. I love your hair. Beautiful long hair.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. Well, let's just dig right into it. Let's talk about food and nutrition and health. Now, your journey started with your daughter, right? You were trying to take care of her and getting her well through that process led you to create this company, which is Purely Nourish. Can you share with us a little bit about the story behind what you're doing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. My eldest daughter, when she was between the ages of 3 and 8, she was severely constipated. She would barely have a bowel movement. It would take her like 3 to 7 days before she would pass, go to the bathroom. And she was suffering so much, going into corners because she didn't know how to soothe herself, having pain, not being able to go naturally. And that was very traumatizing, not only for a kid, but for me as well, to see her going through that pain. And my husband and I would go in and out of pediatrician's office, pediatric gastroenterologist, and we even went to the length of seeing a food therapist. And we just got the same answers every time. Give her a laxative before she eats, so that way, once she's done eating, the stool can soften with the laxative and she'll be able to go. However, I just didn't sit well with me. I didn't want her to be on laxatives or like stool softener so she can be able to go to the bathroom naturally when the human body is supposed to do that for us. Whatever comes in must come out. And I started taking matters into my own hands and started doing some research and digging. But it wasn't until one day where she had to go to the hospital because she was having abdominal pain, like lower abdominal pain, and she couldn't even walk. And it was because she had days of backed up stool in her and they had to, release it. And that's the day that I said, something has to change, not only for her, but for our family. And I decided to become a certified holistic nutrition. And because I wanted to better feed her and my family, and food is medicine,
Right.
And the science behind food and what it does to our body does truly matter. So Purely Nourish came about because I noticed that a lot of people don't consume a lot of fiber within their diets. And that's one of the main causes of constipation. We consume a lot of processed foods out of convenience because we're always on the go, or we need something quick and easy. And Purely Nourish is the opposite of that. Yes, it's convenience, but it's not processed foods. It's meals based on whole foods and lean protein.
Absolutely. And your daughter is all healthy and fine now.
Yes, thankfully. We changed our diet completely. She has her morning smoothies every day. I make sure, to give her fruits and vegetables throughout every meal. And she's still a picky eater. She's 11 years old and I have an 8-year-old, and they are still picky, but that's where my creativity stems from because she's so picky. And she still to this day would not eat an apple or she wouldn't eat a bowl of Brussels sprouts. So I have to figure out ways to incorporate that, and also with education, of course. But she's still picky. But that's how Purely Nourish is also creative in that way, where I'm able to balance the meals and flavor to also make it tasteful.
Nice.
So it's not bland that you're eating. Who wants to eat bland vegetables?
Yeah,
Not me.
absolutely. Yeah, not me either. And what are some of the biggest misconceptions, Sony, that people have about healthy eating, and how do you help them change that?
Yeah. A lot of misconception that people have about healthy eating, again, going into bland, that if they want to eat healthy, it has to be, broiled fish and steamed vegetables. And food should be fun. It should be joyful. It shouldn't have to be distasteful or feel like you have to eat this because you want to change the way you eat. So I think adding flavor to it, spices, sauces, of course, is a big thing. And I think we're going to get into that later with ingredients and stuff. But just taking out those inflammatory ingredients and just swapping it for, natural sugar and avocado oil, maybe extra virgin olive oil. So just playing with food and just having fun with it.
Delicious, right?
Yeah, having fun with it.
Awesome. Good. And what about families who struggle with picky eaters, right? Like your daughter, you mentioned that before, or if they have busy schedule.
Yeah.
And what advice do you have to make healthy eating easier and more enjoyable for them?
Yeah. Definitely, because I'm a busy mom as well. I'm a mom of 3, and we're always on the go. So meal planning is honestly one of the lifesavers that I've had, because I can plan meals ahead and also incorporate your kids while you're meal planning. So that way they know what they're going to eat, and it's also fun for the whole family. Smoothies are a big thing because you can get healthy fats in there, your fruits, your vegetables, all in one cup. Creating different dishes, but also that can be a little hard for some people because they don't have that creative aspect of creating delicious meals. So I would honestly say meal planning, smoothies are good, and just try to always focus on going on whole foods, lean protein, and healthy fat in each dish.
Yeah. So before that, we talked about how people got busy and they had to stop, go to McDonald's and fast food and stuff like that. So this go right into following that. And, for busy people like that, meal prepping can be super overwhelming. I know when my kids were younger and I was just like running around, running 2 businesses, working full time, single mom, there are people out there like that. What are some simple habits or strategies people can adopt that, they can prep meal or eat healthier at home, or how do you do that?
Yeah. So focusing on whole foods again, fruits and vegetables, lean protein, healthy fats, avocados, nuts and seeds, and removing the inflammatory ingredients such as seed oil and refined sugars and enriched flours such as bread, pasta, white rice. Just a few changes of that can really change, the way you eat.
Yeah. And do you recommend that they chop in advance or plan their meals?
Absolutely. Planning your meals in advance, going food shopping, prepping it the night before, and then maybe cooking it the day after within time consumption. It could be a 3-day process. But if you want variety, it can take that amount of time. But if you're someone who doesn't mind eating the same thing, meal prepping can take as short as 2 to 3 hours.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking back. My husband and I, we on and off taking keto, right? Being on keto. And it's so hard to eat out when you're on keto. Everything has sugar in it. Everything has carbohydrate in it.
Right.
And he is so easy. He's like, chicken and vegetable. He can eat that every day.
Yeah.
So, not every kid or every person is like that. So to have variety and plan in advance would be better.
Absolutely. Right? And I think that that's the key. Everyone wants variety.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't like eating the same thing, which is why at Purely Nourish, we have a variety of meals, whether you're vegan, plant-based, or you like animal protein. And the meals change weekly. So that way it gives people a sense of not having to eat the same thing all the time.
Yeah, nice. And besides getting their meals from Pure Nourish is probably the best thing if you live in the area and you can take advantage of that. But for people who are living further away, don't have access to meal prep like this, where do you shop? I mean, where do you recommend them to buy their food? Or
Yeah,
Whole Foods is pretty expensive
it is.
for certain income, right?
Absolutely. My go-to would always be the farmer's market because you're getting the freshest produce from, the community you live in. But again, not a lot of people have access to that. And one of the things that I say is when you're going to go shopping to any supermarket, stay away from the middle and go within the surroundings because you have your produce, you have your meats, and you have your cheeses. In the middle is where people get stuck, and that's where convenience comes in. If you want a night off and you don't want to cook, you go to like a frozen meal. And it's okay if you do that once in a while. I'm not against it, but just sticking to a lifestyle where that's not how you're eating regularly. Once in a while, of course, no problem. Yeah, if you want to have, a frozen dish or have pizza, absolutely, that's fine. But eating should be your lifestyle, it shouldn't be your everyday. Like McDonald's or, inflammatory foods like that shouldn't be something that you consume every day.
Absolutely. And you mentioned through different conversation that we have, you said anything that is in a box, you should stay away from. Right?
Absolutely.
And even that, when you turn the box over, when you look at the ingredients,
I know.
There's all kinds of additives. I mean, cereals, all those stuff are no good. And we've
crackers.
The society, our society in the US especially, it's just so easy for people to just grab a cereal box and pour it in a bowl and give it to their children. Oh, the commercial said it's healthy. It's not.
Yeah. And that's one of the worst things you can consume for breakfast is sugar. Because within the next hour or two, you're going to be hungry because you're not satiated. And what satiates us is a combination of protein and fats. So that's what we should always think about. And the more protein and fats we consume together, the less snacking we will have throughout the day. So you won't go for that, granola bar or protein bar. Because although it says protein, if you look at the back of it, there's probably 10 plus ingredients.
Awesome. Thank you for clarifying that. And for anybody looking to start their health journey, what do you recommend them to start with?
For the most part, avoiding processed foods, sugary drinks as soda, sticking to whole foods and lean protein, things that come from the ground or on the tree. Consuming enough protein to keep you fuller longer. And it's just something that, again, it's a lifestyle. It's cheating can happen all the time, like once in a while. We're all going to do it. I'm guilty of it. I do it. But when it comes down to my routine, I stick to it. Because at the end of the day, it's not, I'm feeling good now, but I also want to feel good 20, 30 years from now too.
Absolutely.
I want to enjoy as I get older, I want to enjoy doing the same things that I'm doing now.
Yeah. So the number one thing probably just like easiest, like stay away from sugar, soda, like you mentioned. And soda is really hard to get rid of. Sugar is more addicted than cocaine. When they did a study with the mouse, and the mouse have a choice between cocaine and sugar, the mouse picked sugar.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, it's in everything. And if you can just maybe take like one soda away, right? A day, then, that's a step forward.
And you'd be surprised if you actually go like on a sugar cleanse for 3 days and you consume no sugar, the next time you actually consume a sugary beverage, you would honestly say like, oh my God, this is too sweet. I can't consume it. And I'm actually guilty of that as well. I used to add creamer, like silk creamer into my coffee.
Yeah.
And my sister and I did a sugar cleanse for 3 days where we consumed no sugar, not even fruit, just savory. No packaged anything that contains sugar because a lot of packaged foods has sugar. And by the 4th day, I went to go get my coffee and put creamer in it. And I was like, whoa, I can't have this. And until that day, I still don't consume like creamer in my coffee because it's just too sweet for me now.
Right.
And it's also your mind. So if you change your mindset and like everything in life, stay consistent, you know, a lot of people you'd be surprised.
Yeah, your body get used to sugar or no
Absolutely.
sugar. That's a good advice there. Sugar cleanse for 3 days.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Sony. It's been a great conversation, and I'm sure enlightening for a lot of people, and for people who want to start this journey and they, you know, they want an easy way out. Like how can they get in touch with you if they want a meal prep delivered to their door? I know Purely Nourish does that.
Yeah, absolutely. Visiting our website at purelynourished.net, we upload a new menu on Thursdays, and they can order and have it delivered freshly on Monday.
Awesome. Wow. I'm going to try.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sony. And is there anything else you want to share with our audience?
Making a change doesn't have to be now. It can be when you're ready, as long as you get there.
Absolutely. Great advice. Great advice, Sony. And for our audience out there, if you want to start with cutting down the sugar. And if you are not brave enough to go shopping for vegetables and fruits, you can visit Purely Nourish. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sony.
you.
And you all strive for the greatest health and master your life along the way. Thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.